god, my characters are like over here. The characters I use them more, like more to this side and less to this side. But you really have to start with the characters I don't do as well with. Astolfo. So let me just customize his abilities, and then we'll get into this to just, you know, show off abilities. He's already got the top 4. Okay. Yes, power up here. Let me just touch and fall instead. First. So let's show his abilities, and then, you know, let's talk about him. His abilities, his basic attacks, everything. Talk about him. Astolfo in a nutshell. Yeah. Yeah, Tamamo. Okay, after Tamamo, you know, doing everything, let's start the show, shall we? So, we got here Astolfo, our buddy Astolfo here. So, let's see his basics. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Wait. 4, 5... 6... Wait. That's 4, and then 5, the other one. So he has 5 lights, as you saw. 1 light, 1 heavy. His aerial attacks. Nothing that interesting. 2 light, 1 heavy. That's okay. 3 light, 1 heavy. This is a little slow, being fair, but it's okay. 4 and 5. 4 light, 1 heavy. That's much better. It's just a shame it takes so long for him to do this part here. Else it would actually be a little bit better. It's a shame, but it's still... His basics are... The problem with his basics is, like, his range is so short. It's like, it has no range. Like, literally. Well, don't account that, but like, his normal basics just have no range. Like, they are so short range. That's the main problem Astolfo suffers from. Compared to a lot of the other characters, his basic attacks being so short range. They're not bad per se, they're just really no range. Either way, let's go for his abilities. So first, consecutive Flash of the Soul Sword. This is... it's okay. It's an okay ability, actually. It's a close range skill with a good amount of damage. It's just... Oh well, we'll talk about it after I show the others. Hippogriff Tornado. Yeah. Touch and Fall. Touch and Fall. This is, we'll talk about later. And Hippogriff Rush. Yep, this is fully controllable. By the way, dumb. Controllable, that is. So, let's talk about his skills. So, consecutive Flash of the Small Sword. This is okay at most. It's not very high damage close range skill, but it does some damage. You could technically combo it from like touching and fall into this. You can technically use it out of block, but again, the problem with it is its range is so sad. There's a few of his, like, anything involving his sword is just like not gonna have the most range, and if you could stop moving Astolfo, that would be great. And it just doesn't, it's just a little sad that it's like very short range. I mean, it's okay, it's just there's much more impressive close range abilities, and you could use it technically, but it's a bit hard to make use of it. Hippogriff Tornado. This thing is huge. That has quite a bit of range, and is actually a pretty fine skill. It's like, it's a pretty good skill to get drive and everything. It is, yeah, it's a pretty fine skill. It's just, it's like a lot of other things. There's, everyone has seen better versions. It's like, Hippogriff Tornado is fine, but there's like better versions that you're kind of stuck there while doing Hippogriff Tornado. It's like, there's better things. Touch and Fall. This stun is so slow starting. Oh my god. It's such a shame because also this is the single heavy. such a shame because that the stun again is like any other stun I'm gonna say. It's like you could make this work definitely, but it's so slow compared to Charlie's. Charlie's is so fast comparatively to this. I just wish it was as fast as Charlie's. If it was as fast as Charlie's, we'd be good. That would be a pretty nice stun. But unfortunately, it's not. I mean, I'll still give this the usual. If you know how to use stuns well, you can use this. So, yeah. Hippogriff Rush. Well, your bread and butter. This is the best rush skill in the game, like, bar none. Literally. Probably the best rush skill in the game. It is super controllable. It can hit a person more than one time. It can freaking two-shot people with that. You can two-shot people with this. You cannot one-shot, but you can two-shot. You're kind of stuck doing this, but it's fine. It's very easily controllable. You can make sharp turns with that thing. It's just... Hippogriff is pretty freaking good. It's by far Astolfo's best skill. It is Astolfo's bread and butter. And everything else in between. Like, you play Astolfo, you play it for Hippogriff. Basically. You are playing Astolfo for Hippogriff. Not much else. Either way, let's show the rest of the skills. And I will show you the rest of the skills, so... Which is, weirdly enough, the best build is with those other skills, but... We'll get to that when we get to that, won't we? Customized skills. Hippogriff Rush stays. And now we want Power Up, Luna Break, Manual, and Black Luna. So this, weirdly enough, very lacking in blue skills, is usually the build I see for Astolfo. You might substitute Black Luna for Tornado. You might. But this is usually what I see. Usually from Astolfo players. Anyways, let's do this. So first up, Black Luna. That is actually a bigger AoE than you might think. It actually has a pretty decent size. If I like something like this, it might let me show you exactly how much. Yeah. See, it's actually not half bad range. It's actually got pretty decent range. So what that does, it does a small amount of damage, and basically it will give a person a mini slow. So basically all of their actions are slower. It can be cured though, warning. Now, what I just activated for Astolfo is Power Up, which literally just increases the damage he does. I mean, I'm not sure. Does it increase his attack speed? Why? Is it actually... Wait, I think it does. Give me a second, I have to see this. Power up. No, it's equal. I thought it might increase his attack speed. It's equal. It's just a damage buff. It just increases his damage and obviously gives him priority over, you know, drive. It's the usual shenanigans. It's a buff skill. There's not much more to talk about it. It buffs him, gives him that advantage, and yeah. I can't say anything else. Then you have Luna Break Manual, his counter, which does not last. As you saw, that is it. You have a very short timing to use this. There is not a lot of leeway for your counter at all. Astolfo has the lowest lasting counter in the game, and it's also it's not very far-reaching either, I'm pretty sure. As you can see, it's like, it is really short. I could get out of that so fast. It's basically, you better be about to get hit by something inactivated, because else you're just wasting it. It is still a counter, and it's still worth bringing. Boom. Even though it's still probably technically the worst counter in the game, it's still a counter. In the end, it's still got the advantage of being a counter where you get attacked while doing this, well, they get screwed. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, that's Astolfo in a nutshell. Again, I don't play Astolfo much, but I can tell you his main shtick is this thing. So, and this thing by itself is kind of broken. A little bit. I will actually show you. I think it's better, in Astolfo's case, it's better to show, not tell. Less show, more showing, less telling. With Astolfo, in my opinion, is probably the better way of doing this. So let's get to a multiplayer thing and actually kick some AI ass. Which is what I'm gonna do. So, create a room. Also, if I haven't set any combos for him, it's because I don't know any. I actually have played Astolfo a bit, I have, but I've never found any combos he has between skills. So, what are the abilities I recommend you using? So, this is what I usually use. I recommend you use Hippogriff Rush, Power Up, Luna Break, and Blob Black Luna. These four skills are probably the best. Now, I use Hippogriff Tornado instead of Black Luna, and you can do this. Again, it's just a case of Black Luna is probably more consistent. Consecutive Flash combo, you can use it, but I don't recommend it. Touch It and Fall is probably his worst skill, unfortunately. It just takes freaking quite a bit to just come out. And even then, I can still get hit by this, I don't worry. A certain person will make sure of it sometimes. But, you know, I'm just saying, like, unless you practice this, you'll have a hard time hitting it. Either way, I'm gonna show you some Astolfo. Let's start this shenanigan. This is what you want to do as Astolfo. On the start of the match, he actually has no long range abilities, if you didn't notice, or at least no abilities with that much long range. So compared to the other characters we've used until now, you probably should not start by activating, like, Tornado. You really should not start by activating Tornado. Especially against Gilgamesh, Drake, and Elizabeth there, you're just gonna get hit. No reason to do it. So here's what you do. Get to cover, do this. Hippogriff time. Here we go. Yep. Told you can hit people more than once with it. See? Told you can hit people more than once with that thing. Yep. I've basically shown you the shtick of his gameplay already. Hippogriff. 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 Every time this thing is on off of cooldown, go ham. Counter if required, obviously. Power up when you can, obviously. Counter. Be careful with countering, obviously, as I said before. Hippogriff when you can. Again. More Hippogriff shenanigans, told you. Nice. Make sure it's counter thing, people going on top of you. And once you have drive, well, Hippogriff. See? You can do something like that. Congratulations, you just killed 2 people. And you're super fast one, by the way, if you haven't noticed already. Like, you can go very fast if you have attack speed on. There you go. Yeah, defense tower, I didn't give a fudge. I forgot to talk about the drive skill. I'll show it now. So Astolfo's drive skill is really good. Look at this. That is a big range for a drive skill. Not only is that a big range, you are immune during that as well. Yeah, that doesn't work. By the way, be careful with Cucullin, but we'll get to Cucullin when we get to Cucullin. I think I killed him. Not only it gives you immunity, it is super long reach. Again, Astolfo does have probably one of the best drive skills. I think you can do that, yeah, but it's not gonna kill. Again, Astolfo has a little bit of problem killing people sometimes, unless you use Hippogriff. Again, Hippogriff is kind of, I said, it's his bread, butter, and almost everything on Astolfo. Just trying to get him from. Also, I don't use his basic attacks a lot because they are very short range. If not for that short rangeness, it'd be fine, but it's so short range. Woohoo! Power up. There we go. So basically his drive is really good as well, this drive skill. And when he's on drive, he's basically just warning Hippogriff can two-shot you really easy. Even not outside of drive, he can two-shot you with Hippogriff. But it's even easier while drive is on. So you have to be careful with Hippogriff. But Hippogriff has its weakness. It's a rush skill in the end. You're stuck in that animation, right? There are some characters with some abilities that will just flat out counter Astolfo. The problem with Astolfo is because his shtick is so obvious, he has very obvious counters in a way. Gilgamesh, in general, anyone with a counter just makes his Hippogriff not so good already. Gilgamesh just flat out says no. Jill the Ray just flat out says stop. Not just flat out says stop. And like Iskander is another character that just flat out says no as well. Like there are some characters that just counter Astolfo hard, which unfortunately makes him a bit more niche. However, the strength of Hippogriff is still not to be underestimated. I think it's still two-shot you, if he wants. So, what is the verdict on Astolfo? He is a character with a lot of utility, weirdly enough. Not a utility, with a stun, a slow, and a power-up. I mean, he does have a buff skill, and Hippogriff is redonkulously the best rush skill in the game. However, he has very obvious counters, and I mean literally characters that counter him hard. So it makes him. It could be technically it would be an A, but because he can be countered so easily, he is actually a B rank character. From D, C, B, A, S, and EX, he is an actual B rank. Probably a little better than Robin. Probably. Definitely not as good as Tamamo. But he's still like, Hippogriff can murder you. That's the point. Hippogriff will murder you. Yeah, the Trap is not the weakest character in this game. Don't worry. Even though he's supposed to be one of the weakest servants in existence. That's the wrong button.